Some 20 odd years ago, I was very lucky to be invited into a little primary school here in New Zealand in the province of Canterbury, and it was a little country school. And the children knew that there was going to be a party walking across the ancient trail, the peace trail of Waitaha, the one that's called Te Huarahi o Rongo, the trail of the peacemaker. And of course in the past it was the pounamu, the sacred stone of healing, of aroha, of love, that was carried over that trail. And as with trail, where the mana, or the spirit of women, held the command of the trail, the nurturing of it, and were central to its walking. And you couldn't walk that stone unless you had women in your trail your trail group of 12. So it was wonderful to go to that little school, and they had been hearing about what we were doing and wanted to know more, and children had been asked to express something about the spirit of the world around them, and some had been working with birds flying, and they felt that the spirit of the bird was something that was important in their life, and others had been drawing rivers and saying, well, it's the spirit of the river that I love, and I like to fish for trout, and I love to go down to the lake and swim. But there were 3 little girls who came up with this lovely sheet of paper. It was about, a yard long, and on it were these amazing trees. The foliage and the canopy and the trunk was beautiful. And then when I looked down to the roots, they were like legs. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. And I said, now what have you drawn for me? You've drawn trees. And they said, yes, but we've drawn the tree people. And I thought, wow, what amazing insight these little ones have. They were only 7 or 8, and here they were drawing the tree people. So that takes me back to the fact that we are the sum of all that's ever been of our line. You and I, we are the sum of all that's ever been of our line. In other words, we have ancestors who in a very real way speak to us today, not with voices that we can hear, but maybe some do, but really through the things that we see, the way we see the world, and the abilities that we have, the gifts we bring to every day. You see, some of us are tree people, and we come from ancestors whose lives were utterly committed to trees. Kushla and I have been to the Stola people up in the northwest of North America, and it was wonderful to be with them and to take them a gift of pounamu, one of the sacred stones from this land, the healing stone, and then have them gift to us a cedar bowl made of the bark of the cedar tree, an exquisite bit of artwork, absolutely wonderful. And then when you sit with them and you hear them speak of the cedar and its place in their lives, you understand that they are truly tree people, that is so much part of their life, that it's the essence of their being. What they can do with a cedar tree is unbelievable. They are tree people. So the tree people, are there still tree people today? People who live far beyond the forest, who live in the city, who simply, live another way? Yes, there are. There's heaps of them. These are the people who love to come home after a difficult day and simply put on their gardening clothes and get out there and weed and sow and harvest and tend things and work really hard, even though they were utterly exhausted, physically and mentally and spiritually, you might say, when they got home. They may have driven for an hour or 2 or more on motorways to get there. But when they go into the garden, they become tree people again. And they do these wonderful things, and they bring forth flowers and vegetables and fruits and foods fresh from the land. And when they go inside, although they might have spent 2 hours working very, very hard, they've got far more energy than when they went out there. And not only that, they've got back more energy than they put in. I believe that. I know that. Because they've been with their own people. They've called on that ancient bloodline. They've called on their ancestors of long ago, who've come into this time, who've given them the energy that was sown within their very DNA long ago. They've harnessed that. They've brought it into today. When we can do this, when we can understand, when we become aware of who we truly are, by looking down through our ancestral line, by experiencing it, in the excitement in everyday life that really fills us with energy, we're in a very powerful place. And it's available to everyone. But not everyone is a tree person. So at this moment I'm only talking about the tree people. The people who deep down understand that they have been gifted something wonderful that's available every day to be called upon to sustain them in a world that asks much of them, to bring a balance into the stressful times of life, to bring a balance that revives them, rejuvenates, and helps them cope from day to day. So the tree people stand tall. The tree people have something wonderful to call upon. And in their excitement, in your excitement, you can discover if you're one of the tree people. And I'm going to stop now. I've talked about the tree people, but you might be far more than just a tree person. You might honour far more than all that grows. You might be a stone person. You might also be a star walker, one who loves to venture out beyond, who'll test the distant horizons in a vessel, who'll be a researcher in a laboratory, going beyond where anyone else has gone before. The kind of person who has the courage to take their lives in their hands, their career in their hands, all the energy and all the joy that they are, to discover something new to help humanity. There are many, many peoples: fire people, snake people, bird people, water people, many, many peoples, but we might speak of those on another day. But you find your people in your excitement. What sustains you and lifts you up day by day.